Vasudevasutam Devam Kamsachanuramardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum Asato ma sadgamaya Tamaso ma jyotirgamaya Mrityoramaamritangamaya Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Let us offer our salutations to Lord Krishna, the embodiment of bliss, the Supreme Divine, who descended to our level to teach humanity how to conduct their life. He came to destroy the evil and uphold the Dharma. Let us pray to Him to lead us from the unreal to the real, to lead us from the darkness of ignorance to the light of knowledge, to lead us from death to immortality. Lord Krishna has given simple, most effective, uplifting, inspiring message in Bhagavad Gita. He has clearly pointed out how we can raise ourselves to the divine and how we can achieve freedom while living in this mortal frame. But the instructions are to be followed very strictly. In order to do that, we must know very well the values in life, the goal to be pursued, and formation of very good character. All these steps are very important to raise ourselves. So, establishing character is most important. So Lord Krishna says, if the parents do not behave properly and don't maintain peace and harmony in life, in their homes, how can the children be expected to behave in a normal way? So, the parents are to set an ideal for the children. Children imbibe the qualities of the parents. They observe very minutely how the parents behave, how they love, in what manner they live. All these things they observe. And they are the inspiration. So the parents' role is very important in the formation of the character of the children. So also, politicians, people leading the government, they should have some basic values: to be free from corruption, to be honest, to be truthful, to be loving. These are the basic qualities required for the persons to lead the government. If the government is corrupt, If the officers at the top are corrupt, if the elected ministers are corrupt, how can you expect people to be happy? How can you teach morality to the people? Still people do talk. But their talk don't have any force because their talks are tainted by their bad character. What I mean to say is, you should set a model. Each individual should set an ideal, and that becomes a great service to humanity. So, same thing when you do a job. If you do job in an honest way, following truthfulness, being free from corruption, it has got great value, and you are doing human service that way towards humanity. So when you are able to conduct yourself according to the ways to be done, the ways and principles are laid out in our most wonderful, inspiring scriptures. So our scriptures, Bhagavad Gita, Upanishads, and lives of great incarnations and their teachings, they form the constitution of our life. So now we can test ourselves whether we are following the constitution properly or going in a different direction. If we follow the constitution which I am referring just now, if you follow it consciously, in an honest way, then without any doubt you will be doing karma yoga. So simply performing yourself actions cannot be called as yoga. They should be followed by principles and definite direction and goal. Then definitely it becomes karma yoga. So referring to that, Lord Krishna says, Name parthasti kartavyam trishu lokeshu kinchana nanavaptam avaptavyam varta evacha karmani. O Arjun, take my own example. Lord Krishna says very clearly, I have not an iota of duty to be performed, nor is there anything unattained that should be attained by me. Yet I engage myself in action. I have the supreme Ananda emanating from my inner personality. I have completely left off the notion that I am the body, mind and intellect, and I am seated firmly on the Sakshi, witness stand. I have no duty to be performed, for duty will arise only if I look at the world with a sense of duality. Seated in the glory of Chidananda, I am thoroughly contented. The sense of duty comes only when you have something to attain from the world through which you hope to derive some joy. Lord Krishna says further, I am beyond my duty because I am Satchidananda Swarupa myself. I have nothing to gain at all by engaging in action. Still I am doing work. Because if I don't engage in action and just keep quiet, people will not understand my inner attitude of perfect contentment. But they only see inactivity and think the laziness is a virtue. They will blindly imitate me and cease to work. That will cause lot of suffering to humanity. So I am working just for the sake of those who look up to me for direction and guidance. By acting as a karma yogi, I am setting an example to them, following which they will progress towards liberation. And it tells, referring to Arjun, you are also a man of importance. You are held in great esteem by the people. You should also show them the correct way of life by being a karma yogi yourself. So, these words show how Lord Krishna wanted the people to follow his advice and act as karma yogis in the world. I always say, you be as you should be. You act in a way how you should act, in accordance with dharma. Then you become a karma yogi. Then Arjun says, Saketi matva prasabam yaduktam. He Krishna, he Yadava, he Saketi. Ajanata mahimanam tavedam maya pramadat pranayena vapi. Icchavasartham asatkruthosi vihara shayyasana bhojaneshu ekota vapyachyuta tat samaksham tat kshamaye tvamaham aprameyam. Arjun tells Krishna, O Krishna, hitherto I thought you are just a friend of mine, without a proper understanding of your greatness. I have called you O friend, O cowherd, and so on. Out of ignorance or foolishness, or on account of my excessive love for you, I have jokingly insulted you and disrespected you in so many ways, while we were playing, sleeping, sitting and gossiping, and while talking, and also while eating together. How foolish I have been not to have realized your greatness. You can find that the greatest glory of Krishna was that he never shed a single drop of tear throughout his life. Whatever happened to him or around him, he was always floating in Ananda as cork floats on water. He lived as he preached. He gives us the assurance in the Bhagavad Gita that each and every one of us, by taking his advice, can surely become a true karma yogi, and through karma yoga definitely one can realize the divine supreme Brahman. Ishvara sarvabhutanam hriddeshe arjuna tishtati brahmayan sarvabhutani yantrarudani maya. Ishvara, the Lord of the whole creation, verily Brahman, infinite principle, is seated in the seat of consciousness of each and every being. He causes all beings to move as though mounted on a machine. A man may be working mechanically, He may not know it, but the power behind the mechanism is Ishwar. Tameva sharanam gaccha sarvabhavena bharata tat prasadat param shantim sthanam prapsyasi shashvatam. Arjun, recognize that one principle. Take refuge in him with all your being. By his grace, that is, by the grace of Lord Shiva seated in you, you will attain supreme peace and the permanent abode, namely Jivan Mukti. You are liberated while living in this earth plane. Sri Krishna, by living his teachings, has shown us the way. He sustained with cheerfulness and without the least regret everything that life presented him. That we can see. It is not a fiction. It's not simply a story. It is a fact. We can see when referred to great saints and sages, men and women who have come on this earth recently. If we study Holy Mother Sharda Devi's life, we can see her all through her life, from the beginning to the end, never ending sufferings, difficult situations, separations, surrounded by not convenient environment. With all that, she did not lose her composure. She was calm, quiet, and cheerful. Not only that, she would attend to her household duties perfectly, without any blemish. If you want to have an example of Karma Yogini, here is Sharda Devi's life. Please do study. In fact, I am studying now Sharda Devi's life in detail. It is really tremendous, inspiring life. If you read Holy Mother's life, you will know how we should perform Karma Yoga. Same actions, same activities which you are all doing, but the way in which you do can either bind you or it can release you from bondage. It binds you if you don't follow dharma. It releases you if you follow dharma. So that means establishing oneself in true character is most essential. Without character, forget about spirituality. That means we have to give attention practicing character. You should not, I am not suggesting we are condemned. I am not suggesting that way. I am only telling you, give importance to the formation of character, side by side, not one after the other. I will do this form first, later on take next step. No. Everything you do simultaneously. Your action should be followed by character. Your character should be preceded by understanding, absorbing the teachings of the sacred scriptures, Vedas and Upanishads. So, Mother Sharda Devi lived through sufferings tremendous sufferings. But she remained herself calm and quiet. She lived like most ordinary woman. She did not display her divine nature there. She wanted to set an example for the people how they should conduct themselves duties and how at the same time they should keep on remembering, focusing on divine. So, here is an example. She outlived Sukha and Dukkha. That is, Mother Sharda Devi established herself in equanimity. Samatvam yoga uchyate. Most fantastic statement. Samatvam, equanimity. So, Lord Krishna says, surrender to the divine. Outlive Sukha and Dukkha. Have samabhav and cheerfulness as your constant companions. In philosophy, the first and foremost thing, as well as the last thing to be learnt, is the same. We call it in Vedanta Drik Drishya Viveka. That is, the real personality, the real perceiver in us. We should thoroughly probe that matter. All the sufferings are due to our total identification with body, mind and intellect. We are totally unaware of our true divine nature. We think it is our body, mind and intellect and the ego put together. That is our real personality. But behind the mind, body, intellect and ego, there is something else which is non-changing and non-moving, immortal. In fact, the other day when I went to see Swami Chidananda, he was almost on the deathbed. One of the nurses, she came to me and said, "Sir, what will happen to the soul after the death?" I was really surprised he put that question to me. I told, look, death is only for the body. The soul goes to different regions, waiting for some time to take birth somewhere else. It's all governed by the divine power. There is no death for the soul. Soul means embodied being. That is, the being which is followed by mind. As long as you are with the mind, you are yet to experience total freedom. In the final analysis, mind merges itself. Sri Ramakrishna says in the Bhagavad, in the Gospel, your mind is Atman. You reach to that level. When mind becomes thoroughly purified, 100%, 100% it reflects only the divine consciousness. That's the final state. Mind is gone forever. And you are in yourself, truly experiencing that bliss. So that's why that state cannot be described. Sri Ramakrishna began to tell to the disciples, come on, all of you, I will reveal to you the most secret experience which I had. Today I will reveal to you everything. And they were all very anxious what Sri Ramakrishna would reveal. And he began to narrate how by concentrating on different centers, Mooladhara and Anahata, Mooladhara, Swadhisthana, Anahata, Ajna, Vishuddha, Sahasrara. 7 lotuses are there. They are situated, these centers are situated at the backbone. Backbone plays very important role, not only our physical body, for spiritual evolution also. These chakras are playing very important role. And Sri Ramakrishna explains in every lotus, some people call chakra, some people call lotus, what experience this soul would have. Sri Ramakrishna vividly explains that. In the great passage it is given. Vividly. Well, they were all hearing with utmost attention. He is rising, lotus the lotus. Then he comes to the Sahasrara chakra, the 1000-petal lotus of the brain center. Then he stops. He could not explain. After some time, he came to normal consciousness. What? I did not explain to you. Well, I will explain to you. Again he tries. Again when the mind reaches Sahasrara, stops. 2-3 times he tried to reveal what experience he had when he focused on the 1000-petal lotus at the brain center. He could not do. Then finally Sri Ramakrishna makes his statement. Well, that experience cannot be revealed, but only to be experienced. That's the final. That's why when a person rises in spiritual level, when he realizes that highest divine experience, when the mind is totally absorbed, not 99%, 100%, the whole mind is merged there, you get samadhi. If a person stays in that samadhi for 21 days, the body falls off by itself, because there is no mind, there is nothing, no instrument. That is called Nirvikalpa Samadhi. So which all the Mahatmas describe as inexpressible joy. Swami Vivekananda explains this in one of his talks. In Complete Works of Vivekananda you find 9 volumes. People don't read. That's the problem. There he explains. Look, suppose a river is joining the ocean. Then afterwards you go and ask, oh river, you just now merged in the ocean. Where are you now? Who are you? What the answers you would get? I am ocean. Where is the existence of river at all? When it merges there, it is part and parcel of the ocean. Just like that, all our individuality, they all merge into the final divine form. So as long as we are in the level of body, mind, intellect, we identify ourselves with this body-mind complex and do all sorts of things and reap the benefits of whatever things we do. But they are all like dream. Once you have the divine vision of the ultimate reality, and all these things vanish. Then you realize Brahman alone is real. Everything else is unreal. In the sense, anything that changes undergoes modification is unreal, which is non-changing, ever existing, ever peaceful, ever blissful, is the absolute reality. So, until and unless we reach that absolute reality, we will be always experiencing some kind of happiness and some kind of suffering. Wherever you may go. So that's what Sri Krishna says. Anyhow you have come, you got the human body, you got the intellect, you got faculties to express yourself, to perform yourself. Why don't you do it properly? That's it. That's why it is called, we have come here to play the game. Play the game properly, intelligently, and won over the game. So, the moment we know that that is our real personality, that all other things of the world are subject to change and destruction, we have to leave the realm of body, mind and intellect and go to the witness. Who is the witness? The perceiver within. When I say I am the body, I am the perceiver. I am different, body is different. When I am saying my mind is different, I am different. Mind takes secondary position. So like that we must withdraw ourselves. Who is that I that associates with body, mind and intellect? That I, that individual I, which is identifying itself body, mind complex, that I is nothing but the supreme divine consciousness. They say all individual entities are nothing but sparks, rays of the sun. We are all rays, different rays coming from the same sun. Same energy of the sun is flowing through the rays wherever you are. But all these rays are connected to sun. They can't have separate existence. You can't say ray is different, sun is separate. No. Same way, we are all connected, interlinked with the divine. Because we are unaware of that reality, because we have not experienced that reality, we are unnecessarily suffering and suffering. But through suffering, we have to learn the way to approach the divine. That's why Lord Krishna first tells Arjuna Vishada Yoga. Arjuna got the divine teaching through suffering of separation. Anyway, the difficulty in this world is that people don't have Drik, Drishya, Viveka knowledge as to what is the perceiver and what is the perceived. Although the mind and the body function, behind these mind and body, there is something that supplies the power to them. That which supplies the power is the real perceiver. When anything happens to our body or mind, we think we are suffering. The idea, I am sick, I am blind, I am hurt, I am unhappy. All these are born out of our identification with body-mind complex. When your body is sick, make the inquiry as to who is sick. Am I sick? No, the body is sick. Am I the body? No, I am not the body. The body is mine. I am that which is the life behind the body, the possessor of the body, the drik or perceiver within the body. Thus we have to trace it within ourselves. All activities we do are performed with the understanding that I am the body, I am the mind, and I am the intellect, I am the doer, and so on. As long as this body, both are, as long as this kind of understanding remains, human beings are not going to come to a state where they can put a stop to these activities and attain liberation. When these three equipments, body, mind and intellect, are themselves subject to change, and when all the things they come in contact with also are subject to change, how can we have peace that is non-changing if we identify ourselves with these equipments? Acharya Shankar refers to this constantly recurring misunderstanding of mankind in the very opening statement of his Brahma Sutra Bhashya. Brahma Sutra is one of the great scriptures. We call it as Prasthanatraya. Brahma Sutra, Vedantic Sutras, aphorisms, then Upanishads, then Bhagavad Gita. These three combined called Prasthanatraya, for which Acharya Shankar has given most excellent commentary. After then, all the Acharyas coming after Shankara, they also began to write their own commentaries for those scriptures. Anyway, there Shankaracharya says, Yushmat asmat pratya gocharayoho vishya vishino tamaha prakashavat viruddha subhavayoho itaretara bhavanupaptau siddhayam tad dharmanam api sutaram itaretara bhavanupapattihi. There Shankaracharya explains what is the real in you and what is objective to you. You think the world is objective and the subjective I is your body and mind. But the body, mind and intellect are as objective to you, the real I, the real personality in you, as the world outside. Locate that personality and know it. When you know it, that being non-changing and permanent, you will remain there unaffected by happiness and misery that the world may offer you. Without knowing this, we think we are the body, mind, etc. When the very thing which is having sukha or dukkha, that is, the body and mind, are subject to change and are perishable, how can we have non-changing ananda? So like that the teaching goes. Lord Krishna deals with this ignorance in man in the latter part of the third chapter in the Bhagavad Gita, chapter 3, verse number 27, which I would start next Tuesday. Om Sahana Vavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Tat Sat. May the Lord protect us. May He nourish us. May our knowledge be fruitful and enlightened. May we not hate each other. Peace, peace, peace be unto all. Chant the name of the Lord and His glory unceasingly. that the mirror of the heart may be wiped clean and quench that mighty forest fire, worldly lust raging furiously within. O name streamed down in moonlight on the lotus heart, opening its cup to knowledge of thyself, O self, down deep in the waves of his bliss, tasting his nectar at every step, bathing in his name that bought for various souls. Various are thy names, O Lord. In each and every name thy power resides. No times are set, no rites are needful for chanting of thy name. So vast is thy mercy. How huge then is my wretchedness, who find in this empty life and heart no devotion to thyself. O my mind, be humbler than a blade of grass. Be patient and forbearing like a tree. Take no honor to thyself, give honor to all. Chant unceasingly the name of the Lord. O Lord and soul of the universe, mine is no prayer for wealth or retinue. The playthings of lust or the ties of fame. As many times as I may be reborn, grant me, O Lord, a steadfast love for thee. A drowning man in this world's fearful ocean is thy servant, O sweet one. Thy mercy, consider him as dust beneath thy feet. Ah, how I long for the day when an instant's separation from thee, O Lord, will be as 1,000 years, when my heart burns away with its desire, and the world without thee is a heartless void. Prostrate at thy feet let me be, in unwavering devotion, never imploring the embrace of thine arms, nor bewailing the joy of thy presence, though it tears my soul asunder. O thou who stillest the hearts of thy devotees, do with me what thou wilt, for thou art my heart's beloved, thou and thou alone. O Lord, lead us from the unreal to the real, lead us from darkness to light, and lead us from death to immortality. May all be free from dangers, may all realize what is good, may all be actuated by noble thoughts, may all rejoice everywhere, may all be happy, may all be free from disease, may all realize what is good, may none be subject to misery. May the wicked become virtuous, may the virtuous attain tranquility, may the tranquil be free from bonds, may the freed make others free. May good bread all people, may the sovereign righteously rule the earth, may all beings ever attain what is good, may the worlds be prosperous and happy. May the clouds pour rain in time, may the earth be blessed with crops, may all countries be freed from calamity, may holy men live without fear. May the Lord, the destroyer of sins, the presiding deity of all sacred works, be satisfied. For he being pleased, the whole universe becomes pleased. He being satisfied, the whole universe feels satisfied.